What if I told you that 12 everyday purchases are costing you $250,000 over your lifetime? Here's the math no one's doing. The average American now earns approximately $63,000 per year before taxes. After federal, state, and payroll deductions, that number drops closer to $48,000 in take-home pay. Meanwhile, the cost of simply existing in this country, housing, food, transportation, insurance, has climbed 22% since 2020. Wages have not kept up. They never do. But here's the part that doesn't get discussed enough. A massive portion of what Americans spend money on every year isn't expensive because of inflation. It's expensive because it was never worth the price in the first place. People are buying things out of habit, social pressure, clever marketing, and sheer inertia. Products and services that made sense a decade ago have quietly become traps. The value disappeared, the price didn't, it went up. And most people haven't stopped long enough to notice because the spending is automatic. It happens before the thinking does. Jake here. And today we're walking through 12 things Americans should stop buying in 2026 because they are, by every reasonable measure, a total waste of money. Some of these will feel obvious the moment you hear them. Others might sting a little. All of them are silently eating away at bank accounts across the country while delivering almost nothing in return. If you've ever looked at your bank statement and wondered where it all went, hit subscribe. This channel breaks down where the money actually disappears and how to keep more of it. Let's get into it. Number 1, extended warranties. Every time you buy an appliance, a laptop, a television, or a phone, someone asks if you want the extended warranty. The pitch is always the same. Peace of mind, protection against the unexpected, a small price for security. The numbers tell a different story. Consumer Reports found that only 8% of products covered by extended warranties actually needed repair during the warranty period. That means 92% of buyers paid for protection they never used. The warranty industry generates billions in revenue precisely because the vast majority of claims are never filed. The markup is staggering. A $79 extended warranty on a $400 appliance represents a 20% surcharge for coverage that statistically won't be needed. Retailers earn profit margins of 40 to 60% on extended warranties. It's one of the highest margin products in the entire store, more profitable than the actual item you're buying. Electronics have become more reliable over time, not less. The failure rates on modern appliances during the first 3 to 5 years are historically low. You're insuring against an event that almost certainly won't happen, and when it does happen, the fine print often excludes the specific issue you're dealing with. Credit cards already provide purchase protection and extended manufacturer warranties at no additional cost. Most people don't know this because the warranty salespeople never mention it. A Visa or MasterCard often adds an extra year of coverage automatically on purchases made with the card. The math is simple. If you skip every extended warranty offered to you over a lifetime of purchasing, you'll save thousands of dollars and almost never regret it. The 8% chance of needing a repair costs less than the 100% certainty of paying the premium. Extended warranties are insurance products designed to profit the seller. In 2026, they remain one of the purest wastes of money available at checkout. Number 2, bottled water. Americans spent $94 billion on bottled water in 2024. That number continues to climb. A single bottle of water at a convenience store costs $2 to $4. A case of 24 bottles runs $6 to $10. Municipal tap water costs approximately $0.005 per gallon. That's less than a penny for the same amount of water that costs $2 in plastic. The quality argument doesn't hold up under scrutiny. The EPA regulates tap water under stricter standards than the FDA applies to bottled water. Multiple investigations have found that many bottled water brands are literally tap water, run through a basic filter and sold at a 3,000% markup. Dasani is filtered municipal water from Atlanta. Aquafina is filtered municipal water from various cities. You're paying for a plastic bottle and a label. A high-quality home water filter costs $30 to $150 and lasts months. A reusable bottle costs $15 to $30 and lasts years. Total annual cost for filtered water at home runs approximately $50 to $100. Compare that to $500 to $1,000 annually for a household buying bottled water regularly. The environmental dimension makes it worse. Only 30% of plastic water bottles get recycled. The rest sit in landfills for 450 years. Americans throw away 60 million plastic bottles daily. You're paying a premium to pollute. A family of 4 spending $15 weekly on bottled water spends $780 per year on something available from their kitchen faucet for essentially free. Over 20 years, that's $15,600 before considering investment returns. After compounding, you're looking at north of $38,000 spent on water that was already piped into your home. Bottled water made sense before modern filtration was cheap and accessible. In 2026, it makes no sense at all unless you're traveling somewhere with genuinely unsafe municipal water. For daily consumption at home, it's money poured directly down the drain. Number 3. Gym memberships you don't use. Approximately 67% of gym memberships go completely unused, according to fitness industry research. The average gym member visits 4.8 times per month. Many visit 0 times. The gyms know this. Their entire business model depends on it. A typical gym charges $40 to $60 monthly. Premium gyms like Equinox or Lifetime charge $150 to $300. If you're paying $50 per month and going twice, each visit costs $25. If you haven't gone in 3 months but haven't cancelled, you've spent $150 on nothing. Gyms deliberately make cancellation difficult. Contracts require 30 to 60-day written notice. Some demand certified mail. Others will only process cancellations in person at the original location. These aren't accidental bureaucratic hurdles. They're engineered retention mechanisms designed to keep collecting from people who've already quit. The fitness landscape in 2026 offers alternatives that didn't exist a decade ago. Free workout content on YouTube alone could keep someone in excellent shape for a lifetime. Resistance bands, a pull-up bar, and a set of adjustable dumbbells cost a one-time investment of $150 to $300. Outdoor running costs nothing. Bodyweight programs require 0 equipment. This doesn't mean every gym membership is wasteful. If you go 4 or 5 times per week consistently, the per-visit cost drops to reasonable levels and the equipment access has genuine value. The waste happens when the membership becomes a monthly subscription to guilt rather than a tool you actually use. Audit your usage. Check how many times you went last month. Divide your monthly fee by that number. If the per-visit cost exceeds $10 to $15, you're paying a premium for the idea of fitness rather than the practice of it. Number 4. Premium gasoline in regular cars. Millions of Americans put premium fuel in vehicles that don't require it. The price difference between regular and premium gasoline averages 50 to 70 cents per gallon. On a 15-gallon tank, that's $7.50 to $10.50 extra per fill-up. Unless your owner's manual specifically states premium required, you are burning money, not figuratively, literally burning it in your engine with 0 benefit. Modern engines with standard compression ratios cannot extract additional performance from higher octane fuel. The gas ignites, produces energy, and moves the car identically regardless of whether you paid for 87 or 93 octane. AAA conducted extensive testing and confirmed that premium gasoline provides no measurable benefit in vehicles designed for regular fuel. No improvement in fuel economy. No improvement in horsepower. No improvement in engine longevity. The $7 to $10 per tank disappears without producing any detectable result. Someone filling up weekly and paying the premium surcharge spends $390 to $546 annually on absolutely nothing. Over 10 years, that's close to $5,000 wasted on the assumption that more expensive must mean better. It doesn't. Not in this case. Check your manual. If it says premium recommended rather than required, regular fuel is perfectly fine. If it says nothing about premium at all, you've been donating money to oil companies for no reason. Stop today. Quick note. If this is already making you rethink some of your spending habits, you're not alone. Thousands of people watch these breakdowns every week to make smarter money decisions. Subscribe if you want to be one of them. Number 5. Bank fees. The average American pays $7 to $15 monthly in bank maintenance fees. Overdraft fees average $35 per incident. ATM fees from out-of-network machines run $3 to $5 per transaction. Wire transfer fees range from $15 to $30. Paper statement fees, minimum balance fees, inactivity fees. American consumers paid over $8 billion in overdraft fees alone in recent years, according to CFPB data. $8 billion in penalties for briefly having insufficient funds. Banks treat their own customers as profit centers, charging fees for the privilege of holding your money. Free checking accounts with no minimum balance, no maintenance fees, and no overdraft charges exist at virtually every online bank and most credit unions. Ally, Discover, Capital One 360, SoFi, and dozens of credit unions offer accounts that charge nothing, 0 monthly fees, 0 overdraft penalties, free ATM access at thousands of locations. The only reason traditional banks can still charge these fees is customer inertia. People opened their accounts years ago and never switched. The switching cost feels high. In reality, it takes about 30 minutes to open an online account and a few days to transfer automatic payments. Someone paying $12 monthly in maintenance fees plus 2 overdraft charges per year pays $214 annually for banking services available for free. Over 30 years, that's $6,420 in fees alone. Invested instead, that money grows to over $21,000. Free banking exists in 2026. There is no rational reason to pay a bank to hold your money. Every dollar in fees is a dollar transferred from your future to their balance sheet. Switch and keep it. Number 6. Cable television. Cable still exists. Roughly 40 million American households still pay for it. The average cable bill runs $120 to $180 monthly depending on the package. That's $1,440 to $2,160 annually for hundreds of channels, most of which nobody watches. Nielsen data shows that even in homes with 200+ channels, viewers regularly watch fewer than 20. You're paying for 180 channels of noise to access 20 channels of content, and the content on those 20 channels is increasingly available elsewhere for less. The cable companies bundle intentionally. You can't buy just the channels you want. The sports package comes with the cooking channels, comes with the shopping networks, comes with the foreign language stations. The bundle exists because nobody would pay the full monthly rate for any individual channel. Forcing the bundle disguises the absurd per channel cost. Between a streaming service or two, a digital antenna for local broadcast channels, and an internet connection, you're already paying. For every piece of content available on cable can be accessed for $30 to $50 monthly. The savings range from $70 to $130 per month. A household saving $100 monthly by cutting cable saves $1,200 per year. Over 10 years invested at 8% returns, that's approximately $18,700 for 20 years, close to $59,000. That's the real cost of keeping cable because you haven't gotten around to cancelling. The cable companies know subscribers are declining. Their response has been raising prices on remaining customers rather than improving value. Sound familiar? Know someone who's still paying $150 a month for cable? Send them this video. Sometimes the best financial advice you can give someone is just showing them the math. Number 7, brand new textbooks. College students spend an average of $1,200 to $1,500 annually on textbooks. A single textbook can cost $150 to $400. Publishers release new editions every 2 to 3 years with minimal changes, rendering used copies artificially obsolete and forcing new purchases. The textbook industry is one of the most predatory pricing models in American commerce. Publishers bundle access codes with physical books, making it impossible to buy used because the digital component expires. It's a deliberate strategy to eliminate the secondary market and force full-price purchases every semester. The alternatives have never been better. Library reserves, international editions that cost 70 to 80% less, rental programs, free open-source textbooks, PDF versions, and older editions that contain 95% identical content to the current printing. The differences between a 5th and 6th edition are often a rearranged chapter order and updated statistics in the introduction. Students spending $300 per semester on textbooks when $50 to $100 alternatives exist are wasting $400 to $500 annually. Over 4 years of college, that's $1,600 to $2,000 lost to publisher pricing strategies. The information inside a textbook doesn't change because the cover is different. Organic chemistry in the 4th edition is the same organic chemistry in the 5th edition. The publishers know this. The new editions exist to destroy resale value and force repurchase. Stop participating. Number 8. Lottery tickets. Americans spent $113 billion on lottery tickets in 2023. That makes the lottery one of the largest consumer expenditures in the country. The average American adult spends approximately $300 per year on tickets. In lower-income households, that number climbs significantly higher. The expected return on a lottery ticket is approximately negative 50%. For every dollar spent, you can expect to receive about 50 cents back on average. No financial product on earth has a guaranteed negative 50% return and still attracts billions in annual investment, except this one. The odds of winning a major Powerball jackpot are 1 in 292 million. You are more likely to be struck by lightning twice, be attacked by a shark, and become President of the United States in the same lifetime than you are to win Powerball. These are not exaggerations. The actual probabilities support every comparison. Someone spending $20 weekly on lottery tickets spends $1,040 annually. Over 30 years invested at 8% returns instead, that $1,040 annually becomes approximately $127,000. The lottery is a tax on mathematical optimism. It preys on the fantasy of instant wealth while systematically extracting money from the people who can least afford to lose it. If you enjoy the occasional $2 scratch-off, as entertainment, the damage is minimal. If you're spending $20, $50 or $100 weekly because you believe your numbers will eventually hit, you're funding state government programs with money that should be funding your retirement. The lottery is not an investment strategy. It never was. Every number in this video comes from actual research. BLS data, Federal Reserve surveys, consumer reports, AAA testing. If you appreciate content backed by real math instead of opinions, subscribe. The next video goes even deeper. Number 9. Impulse purchases at checkout. Retail stores generate $5.5 billion annually from checkout aisle purchases alone. The candy bars, magazines, gum, lip balm, phone chargers, and energy drinks positioned at the register exist for one reason. You didn't come in planning to buy them. The store placed them where you'd be standing with nothing to do while waiting in line. Online checkout does the same thing digitally. Add-on suggestions, limited time offers, items, frequently bought together. These recommendations increase average order value by 10 to 30% according to retail analytics data. The individual amounts feel insignificant. A $3 candy bar, a $5 magazine, a $4 energy drink. But insignificant purchases may consistently become significant expenses. Someone adding $5 in impulse items to every shopping trip twice per week spends $520 annually on things they never intended to buy. The psychology is well documented. Decision fatigue increases impulsive behavior. By the time you reach the checkout line, you've made dozens of choices throughout the store. Your willpower is depleted. The candy bar requires no decision-making energy. You grab it because your brain wants a reward after 30 minutes of choosing between products. The fix is simple awareness. Recognize the checkout zone for what it is, a carefully engineered profit extraction point. Make a list before shopping. Buy what's on the list. Treat everything else as a suggestion from a corporation that wants your money, because that's exactly what it is. Here's a question. Drop it in the comments. What's the one impulse purchase you keep making even though you know it's a waste? Be honest. Everyone's got one. Number 10. Dry cleaning for everyday clothes. Dry cleaning a single dress shirt costs $3 to $7. A suit jacket runs $10 to $20. A dress costs $10 to $15. For professionals, dry cleaning 5 shirts weekly, that's $15 to $35 per week, or $780 to $1,820 annually on shirt cleaning alone. Most clothes labeled dry clean only can actually be washed at home. The label is a manufacturer recommendation, not a legal requirement. Wool, silk, cashmere, and many synthetic blends do fine with cold water, hand washing, or a delicate machine cycle. The garment industry uses the dry clean label as a liability hedge, not because your shirt will disintegrate in a washing machine. A home steamer costs $25 to $80 and handles wrinkles without chemicals. Mesh, laundry bags, and cold water detergent handle delicates safely. Wool dryer balls reduce drying time and static. Total home care setup costs less than 2 months of professional dry cleaning. The chemicals used in traditional dry cleaning, particularly perchloroethylene, are classified as potential carcinogens. You're paying premium prices to expose your clothes and skin to chemicals that the EPA has flagged as health risks. The irony is notable. Reserve professional dry cleaning for items that genuinely require it. Structured blazers, heavily embellished garments, leather, and suede benefit from professional care. Everything else can be maintained at home for a fraction of the cost with results that are functionally identical. Number 11. Food you throw away. The average American household throws away approximately $1,500 worth of food annually. The USDA estimates that 30 to 40% of the entire food supply in the United States goes to waste. You're buying groceries, storing them until they expire, and throwing them directly into the trash. This isn't about discipline or character. It's about purchasing patterns that don't align with consumption patterns. People buy in bulk because the per unit price is lower, then half of it spoils before being eaten. The bulk discount means nothing if 30% of the purchase ends up in the garbage. Meal planning eliminates most food waste. Knowing what you'll eat before you shop means buying only what you'll consume. Shopping more frequently in smaller quantities keeps ingredients fresh and reduces spoilage. Using the freezer strategically extends the life of meats, breads, and prepared meals by weeks or months. A household reducing food waste by just 50% saves $750 annually. That requires no change in food quality, no dietary sacrifice, and no reduction in meal enjoyment. It simply means eating what you buy instead of buying what you won't eat. The food waste problem compounds with premium grocery shopping. Throwing away $8 worth of organic strawberries hurts more than tossing $3 worth of conventional ones. As grocery costs climb, the financial penalty for waste climbs with them. Every item in the trash is money in the trash, literally. Save this video, bookmark it, come back to it next time you're about to make a purchase you haven't thought through. Sometimes one reminder saves you hundreds. Number 12. Paying for things you can learn to do yourself. Basic car maintenance, minor home repairs, simple tailoring, tax preparation. 4. Straightforward returns, oil changes, lawn care, house cleaning. The services Americans pay for have expanded dramatically, while the skills required to do them have remained elementary. An oil change at a quick lube shop costs $50 to $100. Doing it yourself takes 20 minutes and costs $25 to $35 in materials. A plumber charges $150 to $300 for a clogged drain that a $7 tool and a YouTube tutorial can fix in 10 minutes. A basic hem at a tailor costs $15 to $25. A $35 sewing kit and a 5-minute lesson makes it free forever after. Tax preparation software handles standard returns for $0 to $30. A CPA charges $200 to $500 for the same return. If your taxes involve nothing more complex than a W-2 and standard deduction, professional preparation is paying someone to type numbers into the same software you could use yourself. This isn't about becoming an expert in everything. It's about identifying the services you pay for repeatedly that require minimal skill to perform. The first time takes longer. Every subsequent time takes less. Within a few months, you've developed capabilities that save hundreds or thousands annually for the rest of your life. Someone paying for oil changes, lawn care, basic repairs, simple tax prep, and minor tailoring can easily spend $2,000 to $4,000 annually on tasks they could learn in a single afternoon each. The knowledge compounds, the savings compound, the self-reliance compounds. Next week's video covers the flip side, things that are actually worth spending more money on in 2026. If you don't want to miss that one, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. That way, it shows up the moment it drops. Here's what connects everything on this list. None of these purchases are forced on you. Every single one is a choice. Often a choice made so automatically that it doesn't feel like a choice at all. That's the mechanism. Spending becomes habitual. Habits become invisible. Invisible habits drain accounts. The companies, retailers, banks, service providers, and manufacturers behind these products understand behavioral psychology better than their customers do. They know that friction prevents cancellation. They know that social pressure drives purchases. They know that small recurring charges feel painless while accumulating into enormous annual totals. Across these 12 categories, a typical household could be losing $10,000 to $25,000 every year on purchases that deliver minimal or zero value relative to their cost. That's not a rounding error. That's a second income being surrendered one transaction at a time. This channel exists for one reason: to help you understand where your money actually goes so you can decide where it should go instead. If that's something you care about, you know what to do. The counter-argument is always the same. Life is short. Enjoy your money. And that's valid, but only when the spending is intentional. Only when you've looked at the number, understood the trade-off, and decided the purchase genuinely makes your life better. Most of the spending in these 12 categories doesn't pass that test. It happens on autopilot. It happens because it happened last month. It happens because someone designed a system to make it happen without your conscious participation. Your only real advantage in this economy is attention. Pay attention to where the money goes, run the numbers on the habits you've never questioned, compare what things cost against what they're actually worth to you specifically. The difference between building wealth and wondering where it all went is not income, it's awareness. In 2026, that awareness is the most valuable thing you're not paying for. If this video helped you see your spending differently, pass it along to someone who needs to hear it. The more people running the numbers, the fewer people getting caught in the traps. Jake out.